Now to a significant update from Manchester United. They're speaking to a number of options about taking the interim head coach role until the end of the season, including their former manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Michael Carrick and interim Darren Fletcher. Let's speak to our football correspondent Rob Dorset. What further detail can you add to that?
Well, that's pretty big news in its own right, isn't it? That we can tell you this afternoon on Sky Sports News. The fact that Manchester United have now begun the process, they are talking to candidates, I think is significant. And I think it's also significant that three former Old Trafford favourites are in the mix for a possible return to take on this interim manager's role. Now, what's been explained to me from various people that I've been speaking to is that United are primarily looking for an interim manager until the end of the season, but they certainly haven't ruled out the possibility that from these conversations with head coaches and available managers that they're having right now, they might find somebody that they decide they want to give the job to substantively. But the focus right now is for an interim coach, and it looks like they're primarily looking at people that they know. There are other candidates they're speaking to as well beyond those, but the fact that Michael Carrick, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Darren Fletcher are three names that have been spoken to about the role, I think is significant. Pretty clear that Manchester United wants somebody who can hit the ground running, who knows the club well and who can take United on from a pretty strong position in the league. They're only sixth in the Premier League right now, and see where they go from there. It's Jason Wilcox, the director of football, who's leading the process. He's had some informal conversations, is the way it's been described to me so far, with all of these candidates, but he's expected to conduct more formal interviews with some of them going forward over the coming days before he makes a recommendation for Sir Jim Ratcliffe to make the rubber stamp the final decision. No timescale's been set, but from what I'm gleaning between the lines, it sounds like that Fletcher will be in charge for this game against Burnley on Wednesday night in the Premier League, and then against Brighton in the FA Cup on Sunday. I think it's going to be difficult for United to get somebody in before then, and he is himself a contender for the interim role until the end of the season. But I think from United's point of view, they've always seen him as a promising coach for the future. He's been working with the under-18s, remember. He's never worked with the first team before. So I think there are certain concerns that maybe throwing him in at the deep end with United so well placed for the rest of the season is a big ask. But certainly, from what I've been told,